What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation, and today we are covering what's the most hostile patient you deal in the ER or on the floor of the hospital, the rest of the hospital. I work in the trauma 3 level center, and I would say as far as ER goes, I would say it would be people who get arrested or overdosed, or people who are fed up with not being treated fairly, and it can either go two ways with them, because sometimes they really are not being treated that good. Sometimes they get quote unquote the nurse who's not exactly the most kindest, is kind of having a bad day, and they kind of get it. But other times some people have a perspective, they don't understand that they're not the only one. They're kind of self-centered, and they kind of want everything me, which I guess I understand as like to be selfish because you're sick and you're not feeling good and you want to feel better, but they're not, they don't understand that majority of places you go to, especially the nurses, they're overworked and they're understaffed, and it's a lot to juggle. And once again, sometimes even those who come in hostile like that aren't even the most, that are dying patients. They're just like I would say in the spectrum of like life or death to just like you should have went to a primary care. Sometimes they're in the middle, so it's not nothing like crazy. Like those are the ones who usually come in all mad and I don't want to say Karen, but Karen-like energy, and just as soon as they start acting like that, they already piss off the nurse, and it's just gonna go downhill. Like, it's not getting any better. Like, that will happen a lot most of the time. As far as for us, you'll have those, or you'll have the ones that get mad if you don't give them drugs as soon as they get there. Because I've noticed, depending on who's the doctor, they really want to see. You want to do the X-ray first, and then depending if you shoot it and it's like really messed up, they'll be like, okay, well, we'll give them medicine and go from there. But if it's not that bad, they'll usually want to see, you X-ray it all, do all before giving meds, because they want to, determine how strong of a drug they want to use, which is very understandable. And then let's see what other hostile patient. People who come in overdosed or drunk. Those are another ones that are more harder for us to perform our exams, I would say. People who come in from car crashes or like something major like that. Those two, because they're like demanding stuff a lot of the times, and once they start yelling and demanding stuff, and you're just trying to, take a few pictures of them, they'll be getting mad, yelling, saying very very mean things to you, and you just gotta put up with them. And then let's see, on the floor, I would say you would have to. On the floor, usually they get mad when it's morning ports, because we typically between midnight and 5 a.m. is when we go do ports, because that's when our ER slows down, and most of the time our patients are sleeping. So there's two sides of the hospital. One is like called the ICU, and more people who are unconscious or not as there mentally, they're just kind of intubated and stuff. We shoot those early, and that side of the hospital, we really don't, unless you slide the board and they start to move and stuff, they're not really hostile. It's the other side of the hospital where it's more the neuro and same-day surgery. They're not really hostile, they're just mad that you woke them up early, and they'll always tell you, why you come this early, why do they need. Those are the more aggressive ones, kind of, I guess, you deal with. But then you're just have to tell them, well, it's the whole hospital, there's only 2 of us, and you gotta explain to them, and then they're like, okay, well, it's understandable, I'm sorry, I'm cranky or whatever. That's the most hostile you'll get. Occasionally, you'll get some patients that even they'll call security because they start, you know, ripping off their tubes and they start being very aggressive. And usually those patients, they end up getting, you know, the little mittens, and you'll probably have to re-x-ray them for their NG tubes and stuff. But the floor is not that bad. Not much crazy hostile patients. Is mainly in the emergency room or in the waiting room. The waiting room, those are because, and it blows my mind, they'll come in and they'll check in. Okay, they see it's a lot of people ahead of them. It's like you're a restaurant kind of, and you'll see a bunch of people. You know, you're gonna wait unless it's a true you dying or it's a baby. Like, you're gonna wait. Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes it'll be a full house. Like, I literally walk in, I can determine it based off of how many ambulances and what the waiting room is. I can judge by that based off, it's gonna be a long wait for half of these people. And depending who the doctor is, that will piss off people too. They're like, I waited 3 hours, 2 hours, and you just not doing my x-ray. I'm like, ma'am, he just not put in the order. What do you want me to do? Like, and those will be very aggressive. Or sometimes they'll even leave and you didn't even get to shoot them. Or they'll demand other stuff. But yeah, those are other folks that come in pretty bad. But yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. Hope you enjoy your daily dose of radiation and enjoying this type of content. And we'll see you on the next one.